No one had a clue. Like, no one had a clue at all, except
Erica Sager. Oh shit, it's Erica Sager. Listen.
So here we are. I'm gonna tell you about the first girl I ever liked. Full story, start to finish, because there's an end. By the way, if she's watching this, I hope she isn't. But it is Galentine's Day. I thought it was girl appropriate. By the way, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show you guys all of the products, so I'm just gonna list them in the bio. Also, check out my Instagram, check out my links, DM me, we can be friends. I seriously have become friends with some of my subscribers, so I'm not lying. Also, if you're traveling in Europe at all, let me know. I'm meeting up with a subscriber literally in Amsterdam, so yeah. I let it dry before I put any makeup on top, so I guess this is a good time to start the story. Here's how it starts. I was going on a trip in 2016 with not a soul that I knew. I was 16, born in 1999 though. Anyway, she was the first person that I kind of started talking to when I got to the airport and met everyone. And she was really nice and pretty, and she seemed very unique in personality and appearance. And so I was very drawn to that. And I thought I might like girls, just like a few inklings existed within me. By the way, I'm bi, so I also like guys, but that's not even relevant to this. And it's Valentine's Day, so we're not talking about men. And we immediately clicked, but it wasn't in a romantic way at all. It was very much in a friend way. So like very sarcastic right off the bat. And I just felt super comfortable around her. And then we sat together on the like tour bus that we were on. It was like a tour group type of thing. And she was really funny. And at the time I still didn't know that I liked her like her. I didn't know that till a little bit later, but I immediately felt like quite protective of her. I'm very protective of people I love or people I care for, and it was very immediate. Like, it was a very quick thing because I'd known her for less than like 24 hours and I already felt that. So after this flight, we like did a couple touristy things and then we headed to our hotel. And since she and I were already kind of like friends, we decided to room with each other. Wow, I am having trouble telling this story. So while we have a damp base, we're gonna start contouring and highlighting. I'm not gonna recommend this contour stick. It's also not a contour stick at all, so it's probably part of my problem. It's just a foundation stick that I bought in a darker color. So that's literally my fault. So she and I roomed together and we were having great conversation. Like literally everything was going so well. And then the lights turned off and I feel like when you're in a situation that's like very new and you know is like very temporary, like I didn't think I would ever see this girl again. You kind of can just like say whatever you want. You don't really have to worry about certain things following you back to your hometown. And so I felt very open with this girl. So like immediately I started opening up somehow in a very gay way. It really started to lead into have you ever kissed a girl? Blah, 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 blah. You know, that conversation. I actually don't entirely know how it exactly came up, but it just had to do with the fact that we were like talking about very personal things. And okay, hair come through. Even after this conversation happened, we argue about who started it first. So I don't really know who started this conversation first. So then she was like, oh wait, I have to contour my nose. Holy. Oh wait, I'm supposed to like apparently do a line above my nose too. So how do I do it? Hope y'all good. So that night, I think we just talked about it. Like we didn't like do anything. We didn't really like go deep into it or say that we liked each other or anything like that. Hello? Hey. Oh, hey.
I'm just grabbing some food.
Oh, you're good. We were exploring the country, just hanging out. No one had a clue. Like, no one had a clue at all, except one of our group leaders was like this very spiritual woman. And she came up to me and this girl on the bus, and she started talking to us, and she called us lovebirds. And I was like, excuse me, like, number one, what does that mean? How do you know? She was just very in tune. Also, I'm like pretty sure we held hands on the bus for half a second, so like maybe she was just using her context clues. I don't know. Oh my god, no, I know what we did. So we somehow started talking about how if you make eye contact with someone for an extended period of time, you feel like a connection with them. And so she and I decided to try it. And this group leader like observed us doing this. And that's when she came up to us afterwards. So like this girl was just not a dummy, and she also had like spiritual healing workshops. So like she knew what she was talking about. I need to do my cheekbone. Look at that. I don't know what that's like doing a little. Unfortunately, I only have sparkly bronzer. I need to get some matte bronzer. Y'all better like this video, watch it again, share with your friends so I can afford a new bronzer. We're gonna let this sit for a second and we're gonna chat. So towards the end of the trip, we were rooming together. It was one of the last nights, and we kind of knew it was like one of our last chances to like be sort of anything past friends. So we were talking about how we had never really kissed a girl before, and like we argue about some parts of the story. We argue about this as well, about who said it, but one of us said like, oh, like, do you want to try it? Like, yes, yep, So we kissed in the middle of nowhere in this country, and it was very sweet. It was very transformative because I was like, oh, I like this, I guess. I did see her again, so I'm gonna do my eyebrows with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I've had this for actually probably since I met this girl, so I really need a new one. It's pretty bad. After this program ended, this girl and I kept in contact. She even sent me a package for my birthday. She also sent me a 6-page letter about like how we met and everything like that, and it was honestly the most romantic, sweetest gift I've ever got to date, and I still have it, and like probably once every like year and a half I read it. But the problem was that she lived on the other side of the world, and by world I mean the United States. Okay, I look like the dog with the eyebrows right now. These gotta get brushed up. I was just like, I don't know when I'm ever gonna see this girl again. But then I got accepted into this summer camp program thing in her state, and also only like 20-30 minutes away from her. So after this summer program I was doing, I planned to go and see her. Our moms talked to each other on the phone and we're like planning it out, and they really just had no clue. But throughout the program, she and I started talking less and less, and I was really sad, and I didn't know what was wrong, and like something just seemed extremely different, and I really didn't know what it was, and it scared me. It was both of our first like girl, whatever, I hate myself, experiences, but like it's very like touchy subject type of thing to some people. And sometimes like people don't fully accept themselves, and so it's almost like scary that like someone brought that out of you. And so that basically is what it ended up being. After my program ended, it was so odd because I saw her like through the window and she was picking me up, and my body just didn't know what to do. It started running. Like I was so excited to see her, and I knew that she and I had stopped kind of like FaceTiming, and like our communication had kind of dwindled, but I assumed like it would be fine when we saw each other. And then immediately I could tell something was off, and like throughout the couple days that I stayed with her, she didn't really talk to me, and she was just like clearly not comfortable with like being around me or like what we had or like in the past or whatever. And like I wasn't acting any sort of way when I got there. Like I was just acting like she and I were old friends. I stayed there for 3 nights and I was so uncomfortable. I didn't talk to her again for, I think it was summer, and I don't think I talked to her again until December. But it was really weird because I went to a yoga class, and this girl was still on my mind, and we had a little intentions meditation at the end of this yoga class, and I thought a lot about her because I was still thinking about her and all, like wondering like, oh, like did I do something wrong, like what happened. Like 2 hours after this yoga class, she texted me and I was like, yo, no way. I was like, this is a joke, like no way this works. It was just the like, oh, how are you text. And then it was a very bland conversation. It was kind of like, oh, like where are you going to college, do you know, blah blah blah. So we went on this whole thing of just not talking to each other like ever. I'm gonna do a little bit of black eyeliner on the upper lash line real quick. Basically, earlier this year, what I consider the beginning of the year is August. So you can clearly tell I'm not employed, but I want to be. So if anyone here wants to give me a job, feel free. So I had just come back from a summer internship abroad, and the classic stopping place from everywhere abroad on the East Coast of the United States is New York City. And that happens to be where my sister lives, and also where like a meteor is supposed to hit in a couple days. I need to text her about that. Anywho, I'm just going to smudge one of these red pinks on my lash line. I'm not sure if she hit me up or I hit her up. I'm genuinely not. I have a feeling it was her because I felt really scared to contact her like ever because I thought I messed something up. I really don't know though, so I'm not gonna confirm that. We're like, hey, like I see you're there, I'm here. She was visiting her family in a city nearby. So we're like, hey, like what if we meet in the middle? We're gonna hang out and just talk and whatever. So I bought this $40 bus ticket. I don't know if y'all heard that, but we're gonna treat this asthma real quick. So the first time I saw her, I was really shocked because she looked different, she seemed different, and she and I went to a museum and we walked around and we went to a Whole Foods, and in this Whole Foods, this guy hit on me. I was like, goodbye. I'm like, I'm here with my girlfriend. Not really. And she told me which museum we were going to, so the night before I like looked up everything about it because I wanted to be able to like show off and like seem like I knew about this art, even though I love art history. And then afterwards, we went to this Italian place and sat down and talked for probably like 2.5 hours. And she apologized to me for how she treated me when I visited her that one time. And I wasn't still mad at her because I had an inkling it didn't really have anything to do with me and had more to do with her. But it was still nice to hear like a clarification on what happened. And it was very much a closure of the entire story, which is still very sad to me. You know, I wish it did end differently. The thing with her is like I never expected anything out of her except friendship, even though we had that connection. And like I just know we're like very different people now, which is sad and good at the same time. But that's kind of the whole story. Now I'm gonna line my lips and continue it a little bit. I don't regret any aspect of our friendship or relationship or lack thereaf. I hope you guys enjoyed this get ready with me for Valentine's Day. All I'm really gonna do is hang out with my friends, drink wine, eat candy, watch movies. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I just revealed a very intimate part of my life. And yeah, I hope you guys have a really good Valentine's Day, whatever. I just hope y'all have fun. So yeah, bye guys.